Are you thinking about getting into reselling? Having no clue where to start or what to do? That was me a week ago. Now I'm starting to figure some stuff out. I've made some sales and I decided I'm going to do a video journal along the way every Sunday talking about my week reselling on eBay. Hope you guys join. Hope you guys learn something. I am not an expert. You guys might even be able to offer me advice and help me grow this in my business. And that would be great too. Thanks for joining. Let's get into the show. Hello, everybody. My name is Paul. I'm a disabled Navy veteran who just recently lost his full-time job. I live in the state of Michigan where you can return cans for 10 cents. And after going through and returning all my cans, I ended up with $89 in returns. Not knowing what I wanted to do next in life, I was pretty sure I didn't want to punch a clock for somebody else and help somebody else get rich. So I decided I was going to figure out a different business venture. Then I went home that night and I came across Justin Resells and Jay Ride and Carrie at Home, and it went down the rabbit hole of eBay reselling. And it made me decide this is something I want to give a shot. So I researched it for a whole week before creating an eBay store. And then last Saturday, I created my eBay store, putting my items in it, following the advice of those who've done it before. And my first week's done. And I figured we can just go through and talk about it. Now, I do want to say, I decided right away to go with Justin Resale and use his app, Flipwise. I can't say enough good things about it. It is such a phenomenal app. His show is a phenomenal show. This is going to be very similar to what he does, where we go through and talk about the weekend sales and that. Let's go through it. I listed 44 items. Now, the biggest piece of advice everybody tells you when doing reselling is to remain consistent. Everybody says they don't understand the eBay algorithm, but it likes consistency. Feed it consistency. So I decided from day one, I was at a minimum going to post 5 items a day. And I wanted to be strict with it the first couple of days because eBay can hit you hard if you go strong out of the gate, and they can actually bring your store down. So as you can see, through the first week, first couple of days specifically, I listed 5 a day consistently. And then Wednesday, I did 7, and 6 the next day, 5 the next day. Now, the reason I did 7 was because I wanted to have a consistent inventory and constantly build the inventory. And if you get sales while you're building that inventory, your inventory is going to go down. Well, I wanted to match up. That's why I did 7 and 6, because unbeknownst to me, in the first 3 days, I would get my first sale, which I did not expect to get my first sale for at least a month. So that was pretty incredible. And then day 4, I got my second sale. And then it was obviously dead for a while I was posting. And then the weekend hit and I got 2 sales on Saturday. Now, Flipwise from Justin Resells is an everything app. It automatically inputs the data that eBay gives it, and then you can add where you bought the product, how much you paid for the product, and it does all the work for you. It's a fantastic tool. So as you can see, in the first week, I spent $138 on the inventory that I posted. And my average time to sell is 22 hours. Obviously, I'm new, so everything I have is going to be in. Here's the data where you can list it by source. And this is where I purchased my inventory from. So I would go in and manually plug this. SV stand for St. Vinny's, and then it's a different town for each one. I am doing retail arbitrage from Walmart, hitting that clearance aisle whenever they've got something that I think is good for a cheap price. I'll go back and relist it at a fair market value. Um, we have GS's garage sales. Home is just items that I had laying around, and I have a lot of stuff, and I'm kind of using that for when sourcing is low. I'll use my own stuff to sell. And then GW is Goodwill, and then SA is Salvation Army. It's not up on this week one, but you will see it in the future. And then it tells you what your average listing price is. So right now, everything averages listed below $20. Only one item that was in the $50 to $100 range. This is what I currently have right now in my active listings, and this is on Sunday because I had 2 sales on Saturday. And we'll go through that right now. So active inventory, here's just a breakdown of everything you have currently listed. You can plug in the cost you paid for everything, where you purchased it at, date you purchased. This is great for tax purposes. This is just going to make life so much easier at the end of the year. So, like I said, it's fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. Um, Now let's go with everybody. The reason everybody's here, they want to know about sales. Starting off with the rat cassette lots. So obviously, sourcing up here, I have a lot of access in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to retro media, whether that's tapes, VHSs, all that kind of stuff. It's super easy to source around here. And I came across these two cassettes, both rat. They were a quarter a piece in the bin. So I looked up their market value, I looked up their resale value, and I thought, oh yeah, I can easily make a profit off this. And my strategy for eBay sales is I want to sell everything at a fair price. These sold on eBay for $12.98. I listed as an $8.87 pricing, and charged $4.11 for shipping. Now, when getting into reselling, for me, the biggest hangup was shipping, trying to understand it and how it goes. Just like anything else, if you research it, learn it, you'll understand it real quickly. There's 1,000 different ways you can handle shipping on eBay. I like to do calculated shipping because I'm new and I don't understand what's going on. So calculated shipping is the easiest way to go. Every single product you put in, you weigh it, you measure it, and then before you post it, and then eBay, they have the back end work with the post office, FedEx, and UPS. They're going to figure out on average how much it costs to ship, and then they're going to tack that on to the price. So in this scenario, I spent, I believe it was a quarter a piece. Yep, 50 cents for both of these tapes. And I sold them for $8.87 plus $4.11 shipping and handling. And the cost to ship was $4.11 because calculated is very accurate when you measure it and weigh it out yourself. And that's another thing is when you're getting started, I would strongly recommend the first item you buy is a scale. Like, it just makes life 10 times easier. I started off with a Walmart kitchen scale that went up to 11 pounds on day one. And I realized real quick, okay, if I'm going to be selling heavy items, this isn't going to cut it. So I did go on Amazon and I purchased one for like $24, I believe. And it's fantastic. It goes up to 110 pounds. So I'd recommend getting that. And then you can see, obviously, eBay wants their piece of the pie. So out of the 12.98 that customer was charged, the final value fee is 40 cents from eBay. Then they take that's the fixed final value. So no matter what, everything you sell is good. There's going to be a 40-cent fee. And then they do a final value fee based on a percentage of the sales. And they take the $2.09. And then I pay for the shipping. And when you do shipping, you don't have to use eBay when getting into eBay. You can use the post office. Why you would do that, I have no clue. There's also other services I've heard about called Pirate Ship or something like that. Different services that have reduced price shipping from the post office, from UPS, from FedEx. eBay has the biggest discounts on shipping. Like, I think this 411, had I gone to the post office, I would have actually paid to the tune of like $8 for that shipping cost. So doing it through eBay is way more efficient and it's cheaper. Now, when printing labels, there's several ways you can do it. When you're creating labels for your package, you can either have a printer at your house, like a regular inkjet printer, print it out on a piece of paper, get the scissors out, cut it, and tape it on. They also make sticky labels, like sticky labels for regular inkjet printers. And that's what I did. I bought a 5-pack of the sticky labels when I first started on day one, and I realized real quick that once you start getting sales every day, that would be an expensive venture. So thermal printer is obviously the way to go, and never is going to cost you any ink. It's all done through heat and paper, black and white, super easy, and it comes with the design of printable stickers for postage. So I went ahead and went on Amazon and I bought again a cheap printer. And I'll tell you what, now using it a couple times, it works just fine. You don't need a $400 Dymo or Rolo or any of the name brands. Like, when you're getting started, get a cheap one. Like, if you turn into something big where you're doing hundreds of sales a day and you need that quality, then you can upgrade. But at the beginning, I don't think you need it. I do recommend getting a thermal printer though, because it makes life 1,000 times easier. After all the fees were taken out of the 12.98, my net return was $5.88, which is a return on investment of 1,176%, which is great, and that leaves me with a 45% profit margin, which starting off new, I'm very happy with. I want to stay as close to 50% profit margin as I possibly can. I full well expect I'm going to hit learning curves in this process, and I'm sure I'm going to take a hit on something eventually, but knock on wood, haven't had to do that yet. So the Rat CDs are the fourth best sale of the week. Next up is my first ever sale on eBay. It is the Pro Series Grassroots Par 1 putting green that was made in the USA. As you can see, I purchased it from St. Vinny's and I paid $1.50 for it. It was brand new in the box. Box was damaged. Put that in the description, laid it out clean, and I charged 1987 for it. And on day 3, phone goes bing and it says you received an offer, and offer is just haggling on eBay. That's what it is. It's dickering. So the offer was, would you take $15 plus shipping and handling? Obviously, I knew the profit margin was there. I knew it was going to be okay. I accepted the offer and I made my first sale on eBay, and which is a huge confidence boost. And when you venture into something new, when you hit day 3 and you get your first sale, felt really good. So we took it. The total transaction ended up being $21.26, $15 plus $6.26 shipping and handling. After everything was said and done, I got a net return of $9.88, meaning I had a 659 return on investment. Great, 46% profit margin, right on board, moving along, and it felt good. So first 3 days, 2 sales, fly high, feeling great, and it was good enough for the number three sale of the week. Next up, we've got this Wilson A2211 baseball glove, the Barry Bonds signature edition, genuine leather, right-handed. Picked this up on Friday, last Friday, with my mom at a garage sale. I was going through like a tornado, just looking for inventory, and I think I have a good eye. I need to get better about looking up sell-through rates when I'm actually purchasing at a garage sale. Looking up sell-through rates is really hard. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, sell-through rates are very simple. When you're out at a thrift store, you're out at a garage sale, and you see a product such as a Wilson A2211 Barry Bonds Signature Edition glove. You go on eBay and you literally type in Wilson A2211 Barry Bonds Signature Edition glove, and you find out how many are out for sale right now. And I believe when I searched this one at the time when I left the garage sale after I bought it. I didn't do it before I bought it. You always should do it before you buy it. I looked it up and there was 26 on the market. And then what you do is you go into the filters once you're there, and then you go sold. Check to see how many sold in the last 90 days. eBay keeps all its historical data based on the last 90 days. And when I did that, there was 46 that sold in the last 90 days. So in the last 90 days, 46 sold. There's currently 26 on the market, which means it has over 100% sell-through rate. You divide the amount sold by the ones on the market, and you get your sell-through rate. And obviously, I mean, right now a lot of my inventory is very low sell-through rate because I'm learning and getting through it. But anything that's over 100% sell-through rate is obviously very good to have. And I learned a lesson how good the sell-through rate theorem is. You'll hear every expert say, check sell-through rate. And that's something I need to get better on. When I'm at a garage sale, I feel kind of slimy doing it, like sitting there on my phone in front of the people who are running the garage sale. In a thrift store, I have no shame about it whatsoever. I will stand there and literally go through everything one by one as I'm checking it. And I will tend to buy stuff that has a 50% or better sell through rate. And I'm willing to take a shot on stuff that's not even listed on eBay, where you can't even find any sales data on it, which we'll actually talk about here in a bit. This glove had well over 100% sell through rate. Saturday morning, which was yesterday in my time, I went through and looked at all the ones that were on the market currently and what they were going for. And the majority of them were selling in the 20 to 25 range, but they were all relatively new. This glove was used. You can see the Wilson's faded on it. It's been beat up. And I like to put a fair price on something as long as I can make a profit on it. So I posted it for $14.87 plus shipping and handling. And a gentleman in Louisiana, within 20 minutes of me going live, it sold, which my first time I had an item sell that quickly. And man, did that feel good. Man, that was such a great feeling to post something and then instantly a person on the other all the way down on the opposite end of the country. Purchased it in 20 minutes. It's great. Made me think I priced it a little too low. Like I probably could have gotten in the upper echelons of $20. But anyway, I made a huge mistake with this one. So this was the first product I sold where I had a thermal printer, not using the regular laser jet with the sticky back paper. This was actually I used first time using it. And when I did it and I went, he purchased it and I went to print the label was still configured for an inkjet printer. And eBay does not make it easy on you to change the settings. So I purchased the label for the product that came out cut off and sideways. And I could have reprinted another label, but when I went back in to reprint another label, it was the same issue. I had to figure out how to change the settings. So I looked it up, and you have to go to like 6 different places in eBay to change from an inkjet printer to a thermal printer. It's so not intuitive. So whenever you get a thermal, make sure you guys look up a video or Google step-by-step instructions how to make the change and do it right away. Don't wait for you to get something to sell. I learned the hard way. So when I got the thermal printer installed and I went back to get the label, because it was a new printer, it charged me for a second label. Now, it's okay. So as you can see, the cost of shipping is $15.68. That's actually cut it in half. I paid for 2 labels and then I was like, oh man, am I stuck eating this? I went out to eBay's help forums. Obviously, I couldn't have been the first person that this has ever happened to. And the way it works is I put a cancellation request in for the first label. And what they have to do is wait a few days. So it ensures that the post office doesn't have the other label scanned. The label that I printed on the thermal is the primary one and I should be refunded in the next couple days. So learn from my mistakes on that one. So that's why the numbers don't look so good here. It shows my net return only being $2.44 with a 49% return on investment and a net profit margin of 9%. Now, in actuality, once I get my refund, this will go up and it'll be in the area of a 200% return on investment and it'll boost me back up to about 40% net profit. That was good enough to have the second sale of the week. And now we're going to go on to the main event. Last Wednesday, we have a bigger town 50 miles away. And I woke up that morning and I decided I'm going to go to the big town. They have a Goodwill there, they have a Salvation Army, they have a St. Vinny de Paul's. They also have other thrift stores that are specifically designed towards lower income people, even though thrift stores in general are designed for lower income people. I don't want to go there because they're like free stores, like everybody can come in and just take whatever they want. And I'm not going to do that in the reselling game. Like I do have my limits on what I can do. I have no problem going to a Goodwill Salvation Army and reselling stuff off the shelves there. Anyway, they have this big city. And I got to tell you, I am a fan of St. Vinny de Paul's when it comes to thrift stores. Now that I have gone to multiple over and over again, met countless staff, I gotta say, St. Vinny's is probably my favorite thrift store. So I was in the St. Vinny's in this town, and I'm going through, and here's a great reselling tip. Number one, when you see something that's old, still in package, regardless of what it is, I just recommend buying it, as long as you know it's a cheap enough item. I came across this. It's called the Vision Perfect VHS cleaner and rewinder, two-way rewinder. This is something my grandparents owned in the 90s. You know, like that's exactly what it reminded me of. Like it's such a gimmick. We always owned VCRs growing up, but we never had like a rewinding machine or a head cleaner. And this is like an all-in-one combo. And I saw it was in the box. I didn't open it in the store, didn't look it up. I didn't do the sell-through rate look up. I just grabbed it. I was like, huh. It was tagged for $5. So I figured I'll take a shot on it. And I bought a whole bunch of stuff at that St. Vinny's. That was such a great store. Clean, super nice staff. The staff was super friendly. And I picked it up and I brought it home. And then once I get home, I go through all my inventory and I start doing research. And I do extensive research on products because I'm obviously new at this. I don't have the intuition like other resellers do, like Justin Resales and others. And I started researching this, and this is a product that's made by multiple different companies. The model number on it is VC8088, and these things are super expensive. Like if you get one out of the box without the cord, without instructions, just the hunk of plastic that rewinds and cleans tapes on battery power, they go for $200. It's very rare you find one sealed in the package. And when I opened the box, everything was still sealed in plastic. So I knew I had a winner on my hands and I had to do a lot of research. And the last one that sold in this condition, this new condition, sold for $765 Australian. I was like, whoa, there was another one that had the box, wasn't sealed. It didn't have the cleaner, the factory cleaner, and I don't think it had an instruction. It was just the product, the box, and the cord. I have everything sealed and packaged. Not knowing what it was going to be, I put it up and I initially listed it for $449. And after doing more research after I listed it, I realized I was a little pie in the sky on that one. So I brought it back down and I brought it to $389.87. Last night, before midnight, before the clock struck over, counting in the same first week, I get a bing on my phone and it was an offer for $300 on the product. And I couldn't let it go for 300, even though I only paid $5 for it, and 300 would have been a great win. I knew the product I had was worth more on the open market. So I hit the guy back. I said, "Can we do 344.87, split the difference?" Literally splitting the difference between me and him. And it didn't take him 1 minute to reply back. He paid $344.87 plus 17.25 shipping and handling for a total of 360.12. $5 investment. My net return was 293.46 after eBay's taxes and final value, cost of ship. He had to pay California sales tax. I don't have to pay that out of my end. eBay handles all the state taxes for online sales. And wow, California charges some ridiculous online sales tax. Cost to ship was $10.97 for me. You can bring the cost of shipping down by getting creative with how you package a product. And I highly recommend you do that. If you got a box that's 4 inches too big for the product you're carrying, I'd recommend cutting the box down, take some inches off it, because when shipping, it's either weight or size are the factors, and there's different alternatives to bring the cost down through different services. USPS has like 6 different services where they have flat rate, priority. I primarily use Ground. Ground is always kind of the cheapest. And then if you get into like really big items, that's where you want to get UPS, FedEx involved. I'm staying away from UPS, FedEx, but I've got a lot of inventory coming up here that's pretty heavy and pretty bulky that I might go the FedEx UPS direction. Shipping is the big thing I'd recommend learning. Sourcing is fun. You go out, you go thrifting, you get the dopamine rush. It's pretty fantastic, but you're spending money at the end of the day. And I think what makes me perfect for this job is I'm not a shopper. Not that I hate shopping, I don't get the same thrill that other people do shopping. So when I go, I'm not saying this is what I want, this is what I want to buy, this is what I want to get. I'm looking at a product to sell and sell quickly. And like I said, I haven't done the looking for a sell quickly because I'm trying to get started and build my inventory up. But as every single day passes, I'm getting better at it. And then the next portion is listing the items, actually getting home, going through what you have, and then literally listing everything. There's some tools to cut some time, such as sell similar or sell one like this if somebody else has sold it in the past, which makes life a lot easier. Use those tools to the max whenever you can. And then shipping. And shipping is a dance I'm learning as I'm going, getting better every day. I'm still primarily using USPS Ground calculated to where it adds it to the thing, but I've now ventured off into free shipping. I think there's going to be certain products that I sell once we get into big ticket items like this. Had I known what I'd known before, I would have probably made it free shipping and then just charge what I know the cost of shipping would be. And there's eBay literally has a shipping calculator that you can use at any time and put weights and dimensions in, and they'll show you what USPS would charge you, what they're going to charge you for the label, and then also UPS and FedEx. So I use that quite a bit now. And as I'm learning that, I'll just factor in the cost of shipping for big ticket items, and I'm just going to do free shipping because free shipping sets you apart. Also, if you ever want to become a top seller, I think you have to do like a majority of your products free shipping and same or 1 day handling. Right now, I'm doing 3 days handling. Everything I'm doing, I'm handling it same day because I'm new and I don't want to make a mistake or get a defect on my account. I chose 3 days just to give me that buffer room right now while I'm learning. The learning curve's been pretty easy for me, and I've been done same day handling on every single order I've gotten. That's it for the week. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them. And I hope you guys join me on this journey. Will this be successful? Will this turn into something that I can support myself on? I'm really hoping so. Now's the time in my life to do it. Like I said, I'm a Navy veteran. I've never used my GI Bill, and I decided that I'm going to go back to college. So that'll be a part of this show too, is you guys get to hear updates on me going to school. I'm going back to get my bachelor's in graphic design. And because I'm doing that and because I'm doing it through the GI Bill, it's going to afford me the life to where I have a little bit of wiggle room while I build this store and build this brand. I hope you guys join me on these weekly shows. I will definitely be doing a Sunday show every single week where I go through and I talk about my weekend sales, Saturday to Saturday, what's big and what's sold. And then you guys can join. If you enjoyed watching this, please hit the like and subscribe button. Love to have you back. Leave comments down below if you have any questions that you want to know about me or any questions about what I've learned. And I am not an expert by any shape of the imagination. I'm just a dude trying to figure this out on his own. So thank you guys. Have a great day.